Morning or afternoon as the case may be, and welcome to the third qualifying match for the Link Past Randomizer tournament. Today we are featuring Coy, Chisame, the Schwartz, and Revis as runners. Should be interesting. We've actually got a pretty good turnout for a daytime match today. I'm Drosy1. I'm joined here by Revolving Osel. How are you doing?
I am doing fine, thank you. It's an early morning qualifier for the US, a decent afternoon qualifier for Europeans such as myself, who are I myself am not participating, but we have got a really strong shout for this qualifier. I believe he said there was 65 entrants or so really good turnout.
Yeah, I saw 62 in there, but yeah, I'm surprised, and a number of people from both sides of the Atlantic.
So, unfortunately, because we cannot fit 62 entrants on a one restream, we've only got 4 of us. So like you said, Corey, Jazami, Amsford, and Rafus, all excellent runners. So they should be putting on a really good show for us.
Yes, I in fact won the first qualifying match, which was the rare of currently having a score of over 100 because the winners are scored by how they're compared to the average of the top 5 finishing times. So the average top 5 finishing time is considered 100 points, and every runner score relative to that. So if you're the first or second runner, probably be above the top 5 average, so you can have a score of over 100.
Yeah, so if you do put out some bad times in qualifiers, you just enter some new ones to hope to improve your average, really.
That said, it's also worth noting your best and worst scores get dropped at the end of the day.
So this being the qualifiers, we're just operating on pretty standard game modes here. It's open mode, 7 crystals to enter Ganon's Tower, 7 crystals to fight Ganon. It's fairly vanilla as far as settings go. We may be seeing some more varied settings in the actual tournament after qualifiers, but for now, we're going to be having some pretty normal seeds.
And we should be getting underway any second now. And a reminder, the runners are playing what in 30 was simply called open mode. Now in version 31, refer to it 7-7 because you have to get 7 crystals to unlock and 7 crystals to make it honorable.
Okay, looks like we are off, starting off with 50 rupees in Link's house and a small shield in the sanctuary.
And a map very fast. I saw a regular crystal in Eastern, and a regular crystal in Desert, and I didn't Chara.
Here was a red crystal, so all crystals in the light world today. To say McCoy. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Okay, Chazane picks up a bow from the uncle in near escape, so that's a excellent early game find. Gives her basically allows Chazane to clear all of Eastern now if he so chose. The dark rooms in Eastern are pretty easy to skip through without the lamp, so he's not going to be worrying about that. Would be a sequence break, but it's a pretty minor one as far as sequence breaks go.
And Short and Ravis are now showing us the Lost Woods, just rupees in the Thieves' Hideout.
And as far as getting bomb drops from the money crab there, so that was to set him up for Kakariko.
I didn't actually catch what was in the mushroom spot. I'm assuming it was nothing interesting, so I don't have anything on their trackers.
Yeah, it's 50. It was a bow in by the uncle, and there's not really anything in the Lost Woods. So Rafe is going to give us our first look at Blindside. He's only got one bomb left, so he's probably going to want to buy some more bombs up this for us. I'm just fortunate managed to pick up more bombs. Oh, there's 300 rupees in the bottom of Blind's hut, so buying bombs isn't going to be a problem, as well as an
Medallion.
ether medallion and a piece of heart.
But yeah, the runners are well on their way to Zora money there. Oh, and the first sword in the back.
Not a bad Blind's hut by any means.
So 3 minutes, the runners already have a sword and a bow.
A very good offensive loadout. They shouldn't be having any problems with things like mini Moldorm Cave or other stuff that may require the use of offensive weapons. It's just more cash in the bottom of the well so far. On the firewall, very nice.
With all that cash, the runners will have no trouble buying bombs.
So we've basically got all the RPG classes available to us now. Fighter, Ranger, and Wizard.
And the total merchant today is giving us a 80% ROI.
Avis has to go and buy some bombs from the shop, whereas Corey and Iron Swatch were able to pick up more bombs using, in Corey's case, he knew the drop pack was bombs, so he got some more bombs like that. So he'll be saving his money, and that will give him access to King Zora if he so chose to pay him off later. Gonna need the gloves or the flippers for that first, though.
Meanwhile, Shazam dropped into Kakariko without having a bomb. He only had one bomb and used it in blinds. So I don't know if he's gonna... It turns out he's missing anything important to back, but I don't know if he's gonna... a second trip there.
So aside from the stop off by Uncle, all of our runners are pretty much taking the same route so far. I have to see if anybody decides to go into Eastern early before doing the South Shore though. It's a pretty good it wouldn't be a bad choice going Eastern early. You've got the 3 items from the Sahasrara, quite a few items inside, and you can full clear the whole dungeon and get a crystal.
Yeah, with the early bow, that could very well be the next progression.
Raven sees a cape on the race game, and yeah, he's going back for that.
I am the shorts to the same realization seconds later.
Yeah, they both deliberate for a second whether they wanted to save and crit on that cape or not, then decide, nah, we want it.
Leaving the sword makes for a marginally faster game.
And the Swords decides to catch up a bit of time by gambling on a race game, and pays off for him. Don't know if that cape is going to be useful, but it still has its niche uses, even if it's not required logically. Especially when it comes to fighting Ganon later, you tend to see a lot of cape usage here.
If head forfeit, they have to do tile room in GT.
And Koi also gambles on the race game. So Raven's still going for South Shore first. He looks like he skipped a dam before and headed straight to Mini Moldorm Cave. So he could be planning to check a Gina after this. Usually if you want to do an earlier Gina check, you'd route it in with the dam. Green Rupee, 10 bombs, piece of heart, Moon Pearl, and Cane of Samaya.
It was a pretty nice mini mold deck, all told. Looked like it was going to be a letdown, but some good stuff on right.
Tazame is heading up to Eastern already, whilst Iron Sports is going into the front of escape, and Koi is doing some fake flipper action. I didn't see how he got into the water, but chat is pointing out that he did a trick called Splash Deletion, which is a fairly new trick. Well, perhaps not new, but it's recently been allowed by the Racing Council. And it essentially involves using extra sprites on the screen to delete the splash animation for jumping in water, which then makes the game thinks you're swimming and allows fake flippers. As far as my understanding goes, anyway.
I just find it interesting that he does that check of all the possible remaining checks.
So it looks like Ravis is going to be heading down to do a slightly more ordinary version of fake flippers. He's going to use a bomb to knock himself into place by the screen transition, jump in, and there we go. Nothing in Escape so far for Armless Fraud. However, with that fire rod, you can get into the back of Escape and light up the torches there with a fire rod, and that is actually, as I'm sure many of you have heard already in version 31, that counts as a logical check. So if you can light torches in a dark room, it counts as access. At least for advanced logic in version 31. Basic logic still wouldn't consider the version 31. I mean, for the fire rod. So...
However, the rooms need to get ready to mill a big key chest in Eastern do not have torches, so that's still out of logic.
Indeed, the back room of Eastern with the Igors is in logic. The raid to the big key is not in logic. And yeah, Imsworth takes a death warp to get back to front. He's going to be checking out the Dark Cross. And possibly, if he doesn't find a small key there, then he will be locked out of the other 3 chests in the back of Escape. If he does, then I imagine he'll continue. Half magic by the Waterfall Fairy. That's a excellent find to get, especially with such an early fire rod. It's going to allow Ravis to be much more liberal with his magic usage. Ooh, Master Sword and Dark Cross. That has paid off very well for Ivan's Forge.
And Ravis trying to small Zoras get the 11 roots necessary to pay off Big Zora. Make that beat.
He just needs 5 more rupees.
There we go.
Looks like there's an item at Ice Armors because we've seen Armos because we've seen both the map and compass. So again, that big key chest wasn't in logic, but it didn't have anything useful anyway. But this part is in logic. So I'm choosing to save a magic though because they've got very little left. I don't think it's even enough to cast 1 fire-rod shell.
And while Ray showed us that Zora is spitting out blue mail for 500 rupees today, so you know, that might even be 500 rupees this early in the game. I'm the Schwartz doing the nice, quick and dirty ether strats getting through Mini Moldorm Cave.
Ether is underappreciated for when you want to kill everything in the room really, really fast.
And Ravis finally made the journey to Uncle to collect his, so all runners to Eastern now.
The same as our first run against the boss. Looks like a fairly good quick kill setup, and yep, there we go. Nice and easy, and gets a quick medallion and the first crystal for his troubles.
You know, with all these early medallions, it's probably going to be something ironic like Mire and Turtle Rock both turn into pendant dungeons.
Yeah, right now we can probably say Beast Town is a pendant, Swamp is a pendant, Turtle Rock is a pendant because that's just so cliche.
And I missed what was in the ice rod chest.
I don't think there was anything. I completely missed it myself. Ravis checked it much earlier, but there's nothing on his tracker. 3 bombs, thank you, chat. So just about a minute behind the same, Koi also gets his first crystal. Iron's Forts is on his way to Eastern Palace, and Ravis is making his way down to the bottom escape. If he chooses to go to the Dark Cross, he will get something for his efforts, but Rest of Escape didn't really have anything for Iron's Forts.
Well, it had the one heart container we've seen so far.
It's a good point, actually. So, runners have blue mail available to them if they decide to go Pair of Kings, or which they can't logically do just yet. They do need to do a fake flipper for that. But this is a complete lack of health so far for runners.
Well, I'm assuming Rose will do Dark since he Death Warp.
Yeah, he drained his health on the Born Chain Guard and dropped some bombs to Death Warp himself to the front. So Koig heading into the dam. He hasn't done the South Shore yet, so he's probably going to be doing that first before heading left for Agina. But, you know, he might surprise us. Actually, I think he did go to Mini Moldon before the dam because he's got an Eve medallion. So yeah, he's heading over left to Agina.
And Ravis picks up his Master Sword.
Looks like he's going to go to Eastern now. So Ravis has committed to a lot more of the overworld than the other runners, so he's going to be our last runner getting the first crystal. It kind of paid off for him in the form of the Master Sword, but the Zora area really didn't have much useful. I guess the Blue Mail is actually very useful considering the lack of health right now.
Boy.
But
Gina had the lamp, and you know what that means.
Yeah, that's Aga 1.
We've pretty much exhausted all the locations at this point. I think there's no choice.
Even if he didn't find the Master Sword again in Aga 1, you've got the cape. It looks like Corey is choosing to do some fake... Oh, no, I think he's going to buy some bombs before heading over to Aga. He hasn't done the Kosor area yet, so I imagine he's probably going to try and do that first before Aga 1. Because, you know, it's Aga 1. It takes 7 or 8 minutes to go through. Again, Corey uses a splash deletion there to start his fake flipper. With enough sprites on the screen, it doesn't generate the splash sprite, and so he starts swimming.
And he did it to save himself the walk over to Ice Rod Cave. I mean, I guess it's slightly faster as long as you can get the splash deletion on the first try.
Same also heading over to the Zora area, so I think we're going to be seeing most of our runners with 4 hearts and blue mail before going up to Aga 1.
Yeah, and since Shazam and Koi did the short checks first before going over to Zora, they got an additional 300 there, so we'll have no trouble with the Zora money.
Okay, I tell a lie. Koi didn't do mini mold on cave. Sustain picks up a very expensive blue mail.
As I say, if they're to go into Dark World with 4 hearts, the blue mail's worth it.
So it looks like Shazame's going to be doing the final escape now. And when they don't find what they want, which is going to be the Master Sword, they may decide to go to Aga 1 in the dark, or they may decide to go to Agina first, and it's kind of hard to say which would be the best play if you were in Shazame's position, really. It's a long trek over the desert for that lamp. But the dark rooms in Aga 1 are pretty notoriously slow to get through. And with that amount of health, it's particularly dangerous.
Oh, and just to echo what's been going on in chat for the benefit of anyone who's watching this on YouTube after the fact, if you're interested in the Splash Delete glitch, you can go to the main Discord for the link to the Randomizer, and the Racing Council News channel in there has a link describing exactly how the glitch works.
The Sword's heading south now, probably to go check out Agina, get that lamp, and realise this is probably going to be an Aga 1 seed. Corey's picking up his blue mail, and it's nearly decision time for Susane. Well, they've still got to get a Master Sword from Dark Cross first, but almost decision time.
Yeah, I wonder if Koi will even go to Dark Cross before. I mean, I guess if he has to go to the palace anyway, I would hope he does the escape checks. But with the cape, he can get without the Master Sword.
He actually chooses to take it safe and crit rather than a Death Orb to the front. A Death Orb would be slightly slow for him, considering he's got blue mail compared to Ravis and Iron the Swords. Where's he going? Did he miss something?
Shazam? Yeah. Shazam hasn't been to Dark Cross yet.
No, I'm talking about Koi, because he's heading back down to the... oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah, Koi was the only one who hadn't done escape period.
Right.
And this is pretty good routing, especially if he does do Dark Cross afterwards, because, hey, then he just Death Warp out front in Mega 1.
Same is going for the bold play of going through Aga 1 in the dark. The blue mail helps a lot. Having the bow and the field helps a lot too. Oh no, he was going to Dark Cross. Never mind. It's a little difficult to distinguish between one dark room and the other one, because they're both dark. Having the ropes in there should have clued me info. And Undersword's having that lamp from Agina is now heading up the Agatar. He's actually the first of our runners to head up Agatar because he's the only one who didn't head over to King Zor to get his blue mail.
And looks like Shazam and Ravis both heading over to Agina now to get their lamps. Okay, good. Koi is going to do Dark Cross before he starts making the climb, so he will be climbing Master Sword.
Looks like Koi's setting up another Death Orb. Whereas Jasame is nearly at Agatha, so I think Jasame's going to be a little bit ahead of Koi here. And Ravis, Iron's Fortress is going to be halfway up the tower when they enter, and Ravis is just going to be slightly behind because he's still getting his lamp from Agina.
Early fire rod is really nice though, because if you've noticed, a lot of the enemies, a lot of sword hits can be one shot with the fire rod.
Alright, Jasame is about 2 rooms ahead of Koi right now. And Iron Sword is just about to approach the cutscene. Ooh, takes a fall. That almost killed Sforza. Oh, and he takes another fall, and that kills Sforza. Okay. So that's unfortunate. That's going to send him right back to the beginning of the tower, and loses his lead going into Aga 1 here.
That's very unfortunate. Now he's low on magic for being able to fire the enemies the same way.
So Ravis is last of these 2 runners to enter the tower, but considering Sforza's unfortunate death there, he's not so far behind now. It looks like Jasame is going to be our first one to face off against Aga 1, for assuming he doesn't take any falls.
We should mention as the runners get close that one nice feature of Aga 1 is that he can, with a 50-50 chance, shoot either energy balls or blue balls. And the thing about the blue balls is you can't hit him with them, so they can lengthen the fight. There can be anywhere between 0 and 15 of them. So, if you would like, you can guess how many blue balls there will be this fight, since all the runners are playing the same seed, so I will have exactly the same pattern of energy balls and blue balls. Thinking.
I'm going to say, since it's forced Aga 1, and we haven't even seen if there's anything on the Lumberjack, 3 blue balls, just 3.
So you're going straight for the average. I'm gonna say 5. Seems like one of those slightly annoying but not too annoying seeds. Now Aga's first attack will always be an energy ball. There's a second energy ball.
There's the first blue ball. Oh dear, Jasame actually takes a hit from the normal projectile, so he's going to get an extra blue ball. Potentially. But this is a bit of time there. Looks like Ravis also took a death and has been sent back to the beginning of Aga Tower. And he's out of arrows, so this tower is taking no prisoners.
Okay, I'm counting by Koi here. Shazam did that miss, and was looking at the minimum number. So I think that's 2 so far for Koi. Yep. Oh, so it was only 2 today. And it was also 2 for Shazam since the fall one wasn't. Okay, we got our map check. Green pendant in ice, other pendants in swamp and pod. I saw red pendant in Skullwood, red crystal are Skull Woods.
And though Corey had a pretty long map check there, Jasame did not check the map, he's just heading straight over to pod. So because Jasame took a direct hit from a regular magic projectile there, he entered into the Dark World only a couple seconds ahead of Koi. It's just the differences in execution here make a lot of difference in your times. And particularly in Iron Swartz's case and Ravis, they took deaths in Aga Tower, which has cost them a lot of time. Okay,
And
yeah.
also, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tsame is just going straight into pod here, not caring that it's a pendant. I guess they don't really have any other options other than going up to catfish, but still kind of surprising.
Well, they can do everything except pod since they have the bow, and 5 items compared to 1 at catfish. I can understand.
Yeah, Chad's pointing out they actually need a glove to get to catfish, so they have no, runners have no choice but pod.
Ironically, pod is not bow locked today, as there was a first chest.
So the same Koi and other sorts all in pod at fairly similar times, whilst Rafe is still finishing off her Agatha because of his fairly extensive overall checks and taking a death there. And Swords also took a death in Agatha, but he doesn't have that blue mail from Zora, so that allowed him to catch up some time at the expense of his defense. Mostly keys in the front of pod, which is fairly typical of pod. It tends to be party in the back, keys in the front. And same finds another heart container, which is a pretty good find at this point. Though it does make his death walk just a tiny bit slower. The same making his way to the big key chest in pod. And it's just a compass. I forget how many keys it is, but depending on the amount of keys you find before that, it can either be using a small key to get another small key, or getting an item. In this case, it was an item, but it was just a compass. So Koi hasn't checked that big key chest yet, so he's getting into the back of pod just about a second ahead of Chisame at this point. I really like how the overall lead is swapping between these two so far. Just slight differences in execution is getting them here and there. And routing. Okay, that is a flute in the dark basement of pod. Very nice. So that will get our runners up Death Mountain. It doesn't get them access to much of Death Mountain because they don't have a mirror or the hookshot yet, so we're still going to be looking for stuff in pod. There's a big key in the dark maze, so not going to be leaving that chest behind, but only 2 more chests coming up for the same. There's the hookshot, so that gets the same access to most of East Death Mountain in the light world, and also access to the rest of the dark world. Although I think he's no, I don't think he needs a glove to get to the hookshot point getting across the river, so he should be fine. He's going to activate that flute first, and I imagine go for the Death Mountain Cave first before the rest of Dark World.
Is the hookshot point across the river before the glove?
I believe he can hookshot across. I think like the gap to get over to that hookshot thing is just blocked by. It's blocked by a hammer peg, a rock, and I think a bush. Although I can't quite recall it off the top of my head. Same and Koi both activating their flutes. Thoughts going to be activating his phase shortly. It's this has been, as chat points out actually, this has been extremely linear so far.
And unless they find a hammer or a mirror up here, they're gonna have to make another trip up Death Mountain to get to Tower of Hera.
So first up, we've got the old man for Tsuemi. May see if he decides to go check out Spectacle Rock or not. There's just one item to get up there. I imagine he'll probably leave it behind and go for East Death Mountain first. Oh nope, he's going for it. Okay.
And also just a reminder as we go near to Spectacle Rock that for this tournament, hints are turned off, that it was a general feeling. Most people in the community seemed not to like hints in races, so they're turned off for this.
That does look like a red rupee in there.
Yeah, the shorts gave us a slightly better view of it.
Okay, so Paradox Cave coming up for our runners because they don't have many other choices. 7 items in here.
And 1 item in Spiral Cave, and they've got to have progression. Oh, there's a bottle. I wonder if Sick Kid has the progression.
Yeah, that's kind of a progression you don't want to see at Fetch Quest. That said, one bottle with red goo is going to be useful no matter what, so it's fine. Ah, there's our Power Glove.
Okay, that's considerable progression.
And a second bow. So those of you who... so one more version 32 change is that the bows are progressive now. So if you didn't pick up your bow from the uncle in Escape, you can pick it up here and it will be your first bow. And if you then picked up the uncle bow later, that would be silver arrows. Whichever is the second bow, because they are now progressive, is going to be silver arrows.
Which is actually a bit friendlier towards the runners because it makes it easier to acquire the bow, because in previous versions, if you had the silver arrows with the bow, that didn't do you much good.
Red rupee on the floating island.
Everyone's favorite, a trip through Spiral Cave without the boots.
And Spiral Cave is just 10 hours.
So I guess it's back to the Dark World, unless the runners want to check Sick Kid.
So same going to be using Nat's portal outside Hyocast to get back into the Dark World. No hammer, so he doesn't really have much choice but to take the north route by hookshotting across the river. Could check out Catfish now if he wanted.
It's probably worth the detour because hopefully the runners won't have to come up this way again.
Okay, right. This barrier was all glove rocks and a hammer peg, so there's no choice but to get that hook shot before coming over here. Well, get that glove before coming over here. And same's not going for catfish now.
Oh, and Koi's going straight for back of escape. I totally forgot that that's now in logic. Though we know that one of the 3 chests has to contain a key.
3 bombs and 100 rupees. Not worth it.
Ooh,
Oh,
mushroom
dear.
on bumper ledge.
So we've got a fetch quest to get a fetch quest here. That's disgusting. And Same's not taking the risk. He is using his fetch quest to get that fetch quest. It's pretty awful, but it doesn't really cost him much time.
It also puts fake powder in play, though that's not in logic, but he has the mushroom and the cane, so he could check Magic Bat if he wanted to.
He can't get there yet. He would need the hammer or the mirror to get to the magic bat.
Oh, right. I'm not used to them not having the hammer or the mirror this late into a seed.
Koi is going for catfish, however. See what he decides to cough up.
And Shazam already in Skull Woods.
Yeah, there's 2 items to grab in Skullwoods, and it's the crystal, so very reasonable play to make to go for it now over Thieves Town.
Yeah, and with the fire rod, they can finish the whole thing.
About the only limiting factor here is you don't have much health. Okay, catfish coughs up 20 rupees, useless catfish.
But thank you, Koi, for taking one for the team and showing us viewers what was there. Shazam fortunately finds a small key in one of the chests because... Oh, and there was a small key in that chest. I was about to point out that in Spike Room, the chest no longer needs to contain a small key and can force a save and quit, and given that their only access to the Dark World currently is via Hyrule Castle and the Pyramid, that would be a long walk back around.
Yeah, depending on where he enters Skullwoods, you might still be able to take a death walk back to beginning, but if you have to take a fall down, a save and quit would be the only option if you got stuck.
Yeah, he had taken the fall down.
With that Cane of Smite, he gets into his back room much quicker than pushing the statue. Koi also going for the mushroom like Ray visited to say. So I believe Chisane picks it up too. It's just not on his tracker, but it's not too bad checking out that mushroom because our runners do have the flute, so it's really easy.
So I don't believe we've seen any items yet in Skullwoods, or did I miss one?
I have not seen any items. We've still got Muffler and the big chest to check out. So it's Same and Ravis both hitting Mofflet at the exact same time. Let's see who kills him first.
Nice fight by Chazame there, and Ravis only a few seconds later.
I think I'm slightly behind after that lag spike.
So I guess that means that the entrance chest in the back section and the big chest must have our 2 items for Skullwoods, which is why Chazame is now going right back in. Though Ravis is not. Nope, must have miscounted. That was a key, so they must have gotten some useless item somewhere.
Ravis tries to set a bomb jump and ends up falling down the pit instead, so needs another bomb. Big chest is just a hard container. It's just, useful at this point, but we're really looking for.
We're almost 45 minutes in and it's only their 7th heart container.
Okay, the other item was a piece of art. Just coming up on Ravis' stream there.
So it looks like Chazame will be the first one to show us the Village of Outcasts and maybe Thieves' Town.
Still no hammer, so everyone's going to be popping into Thieves' Town and really hoping there's not an item in the big chest.
The other logical implication there is if the big chest has a small key in it, technically the game considers the entire back of Thieves' Town to be hammerlocked. And there's our final medallion, so we know we're getting entrance into the last 2 dungeons no matter what they require.
Okay, Chazame and Ravis both heading straight into Thieves' Town without checking out the brewery first. First item is 50 rupees. There's the big key.
Which has to be in one of the first 4 chests because you're not gonna get out of the front rooms otherwise.
And there's also the map, which is a bad sign considering the big chest.
Right, so either there's an item in the big chest or there's a small key in the big chest, in which case the game considers the entire back to be hammerlocked.
Yeah, the compass could also pop up there. We haven't seen the compass yet.
No, the compass was the first chest, actually.
Was it? I thought it was 50 rupees. Okay.
So Koi is about to get his Bombos. Oh, sorry, I guess Bombos was in the chest game. Oh, and he's going to give us a look at the brewery.
I mean, it's certainly not a bad choice. I probably would have done it myself because going into Thieves Town without the hammer is always icky, and especially in this case where we know there's either going to be a small key locked in there or possibly an item of progression. Something to point out is that the ice rod is required for Turtlerock. The ice rod is AWOL at the moment, and the ice rod could essentially be anywhere at this point. So you can't count out any location until you find that ice rod for Turtlerock.
And so far, Thieves Town has not given us anything of use.
Ravers busts out that cave to get through the harmless hellway in Thieves Town. Not a bad choice. He's got loads of magic and very, very little health. Ooh, piece of heart in the chest by the maiden.
Oh, and this does mean, since we haven't found the small key, that it must be in the big chest, and therefore, this is out of logic.
It does mean that there's going to be nothing important in the big chest, though, which is really, really good for our runners right now. It means they're not going to have to double dip Thieves Town to check out that big chest.
And Blind could have an item of importance, but if he does, it means the game was expecting you to get the hammer first.
$20 rupees. So, Thieves Town, complete bust.
Other than giving them their third crystal. Well, what do we have left at this point? Dig Game, Stumpy, Hype Cave. Is that about it?
Pretty much.
But because of the Titan's Mitt block there, the runners basically had to do Thieves Town first, or else they'd be taking a very long way around to get back to it.
Yeah. So
And
really,
there's that.
for the hammer or the Titansmiths to pop up at this point.
Yeah, if you noticed when Shazam took that second jump down, there was a Titan's Mitt rock there. So that's what prevents going back to the Village of Outcasts that way. Okay, that's progression. Mirror in Dig Game after a mere 20 digs. Pun intended.
Not really the kind of progression we're looking for. It gets you up to Tower of Hera. It gets you into Swan Palace, although you still need flippers to get anywhere in Swan Palace. So you get access to Hera and a couple other checks, like say K45 here, but that's about it really.
And nothing in Cave 45. Just thinking what else. There's Graveyard Ledge now.
There's checkable
We could
cake.
fake Powder Magic Bat now.
Yes, there's checkable cake, but we can't get there without the Titansmiths. There's a book from Stumpy, so
Which puts
I guess it's
Bombos in
just-
logic. Oh yeah, and Desert Palace is now open.
And the Ether Tablet. Because we can use the mirror to get up to that Ether Tablet now.
But Hype Cave still has the best item density, so that's where Shazam is going first. Will it be Hype today?
Piece of heart. 20 rupees. piece of heart. Green rupee, 3 bombs. That's 0 out of 10.
Yeah, maybe even -1 out of 10.
So the seed still continues to be extremely linear so far. Same doesn't really have much choice but to go over to the Bombers tablet here, then make his way up Death Mountain and check out the Ether tablet in Tower of Hera.
Well, if he's at Bombos, he might well do desert since he's in the area.
That's true. He can full clear desert now, actually, unless of course there's a key on the torch. I think I would go for the mountain over this, actually, considering that's possible boots requirement.
Well, Bombos telling us why it's called Bombos.
So there's no possibility of stealing a key to get into the back of Desert Palace if there is a key on the torch, because no mitts.
You just need the glove to get into the back of desert.
Oh right, yes, of course.
But Shazam
thinking about doing it
knows that
without the
there's
glove. Yeah.
Shazam knows there's some sort of key on the torch, and he just doesn't want to bother because as soon as there's an item in that first chest.
Ah, this seed is so linear.
Yeah, we have Ether and 2 checks in Hera, and what else is there at this point?
Nothing. So there's multiple things we could be finding up here. It could be Titans or Hammer, which would be really good. It could be Boots, which is it gets you clearing desert and a few more checks and gets you fast around. It could be Flippers and basically appall you in every single way, because it means you now have to do Pendant Swamp and try to find your progress there. It could also be something stupid like Shovel.
Actually, there could be something on Mushroom. No one's checked it yet, since you mentioned fetch quests. Oh, they're the boots.
And there's a big key to say I'm not going for the Herapod strategy. But having those boots, it's not really it doesn't really make much time difference to go for a Herapod versus just running up the tower.
Yeah, especially since you'll want to check the 2 chests in the middle anyway. And boots also make the big chest a much easier check because you can now just hookshot over and bonk back. But 50-50 chance there's an item in Hera basement, and given how linear this seed is, I don't think the runners can afford to skip that if there is.
Ooh, we've got some fast Moldorm coming in for Tizame because he took a regular hit and takes a fall.
Yeah, you don't want to poke Moldorm.
So taking falls on Mordorm is one way that Koi and Ravis can catch up in this disgustingly linear seed so far. For the same sake, they better not take any more falls. There we go.
There we go. 3 spin attacks with the Master Sword is what it takes. Ravis is trying to do the little clip there, and we see that there is an item in Hera Basement. But Shazam is not going to go for it. He's going to assume that boots were all the progression he needed out of Hera.
Yeah, he's just heading straight back to the desert. I saw Ravis tried to hairpot and now he's back at the old man. What happened? I am very confused why he decides to duck out of Hera immediately. He does have the boot, so he's got his important item there, but it was a crystal, why not just finish it?
And it was also the second 5/6 crystal, which now puts Pyramid Fairy in logic.
Yeah, he can get over there with the mirror. He wouldn't be able to take the regular route for Hammer, but the mirror makes it faster anyway for Aga Portal.
Yeah, that's how the game expects you to get to Pyramid Fairy.
Chad is saying that Ravis might have taken an accidental save and crit after messing up his hairpots, which put him straight out of South Hair, so he's just ducking up now. That would be unfortunate if that was the case.
Oh, and Sick Kid had the Ice Rod, as I Am the Shorts just showed us.
Yeah, that's one turtle rock key out of the way. Still gonna need to find those Titans and Hammer.
Okay, why did Shazam just save and quit out of Desert? That was the second item, but Desert's a crystal. You'd think he would have wanted to finish it.
Maybe I think he's he's got a mirror. He's expecting to get Titansmiths at some point, so he's just like, I can route this in with Maya at the same time and just take a quick mirror portal to the back.
Oh yeah, he is gonna have to do Meyer. That's true. And now Shazam will be the first to show us Lumberjack. And assuming it doesn't have Hammer Titan's mitts, he'll have to go back into the Dark World via Hyrule Castle, and then probably check Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb before circling back around.
Shazam doesn't even give that red boomerang the dignity of being picked up, just leaves it behind.
He already has the best boomerang. Yeah, so the annoying thing here is if Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb don't have progression and the progression turns out to be on Pyramid Fairy, they're going to have to take a long walk around.
And Amswatch doesn't have those boots from Hera yet, so he can't check out at King's Tomb. As Shazam is going to take a look inside. Right after Graveyard Ledge. It does look like 20 rupees.
And now it looks like I Am the Shorts is finally going up to Hera where he will get his boots. while Ravis collects his ice rod.
Fire
Not
shield.
what we wanted to see.
I think the only applicable use for the fire shield is just being able to block the fireballs from blind, and I've run us all beaten blind already. So it looks like Shazam's going to head over to Catfish now. He's attempting the current jump here, so he's going to try to use a bomb explosion to push them into that screen transition and activate fake flippers that way. Gets it in a couple tries. Nicely done.
Unfortunately, he's not going to get anything for his... Oh no, he's using a whirlpool.
Did we see the Lake Hylia Islands? I don't recall what was on there. I don't think anybody's seen it. I know Koi went into the bomb shop by Lake Hylia, but I didn't recall him seeing the item. Okay, Tizame has gone on to the pod side.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that did for him.
I think he just made a mistake. Probably he just thought he had to route it this way, and then it turns out, no, could have just done it the other way.
And the mushroom item was just a piece of heart, as Ravis showed us.
Okay, Tizame has just hookshotted across the river again, and is now heading back in the complete other direction. So he's just basically wasted about 1 minute, 2 minutes on absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's a bit tilted. But he is going to pick up his ice rod here.
So Rave is now heading over into Catfish direction. Probably. Oh no, no. He's leaving
I'm
you
just
behind.
seeing Koi's and Ravis's trackers marked for Desert Palace. I don't think either of them beat Desert while we weren't looking.
Rave is beat Desert. I don't think Koi did. Okay, Magic Shop is
Oh,
just.
did he? I totally missed the Landmo fight.
Okay, Koi beat Desert. Right.
I guess with Silver Arrows, the Landmo fight, you blink and you miss it.
Alright. Tizame making use of that mirror to get the big bomb over to the pyramid. Gonna see if this has any progress.
And I'm the Shorts taking a coffee break and showing us if there was any item down here that the other runners missed.
This could be big for him because there's nothing really that's come up for other runners. Oh, just another bottle in the pyramid ferry.
So coffee break may well have our progression. And also, this is a good time to thank our trackers, Sariu X and Raspberry Floof, who are doing a lot better a job of keeping track of all four runners than I am, apparently, given the Desert Palace marking. So thank you, trackers.
Titan's bits! Titan's bits in the basement of Tower of Hera.
Yeah, so I think that gives I Am the Shorts the lead, just because they open so many things. For instance, he can now do Dark Death Mountain while he's up here.
Ravis is heading back there for.
So Turtle Rock is full clearable. Mire is full clearable. I think we're in... No, shoot. Turtle Rock is not doable because no hammer. So we're in one of those very unusual situations that you don't often see of hammer for go mode.
I'm going to be completely honest here. I've seen hammer go modes way too often when I've been coming recently.
Oh, so it's your curse on the runners then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, hey,
well,
there's a
okay.
hammer.
I Am the Schwartz is now in go mode at 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 17 seconds.
Unless he needs a bomber's medallion.
Oh, I forgot that he never picked that up. My apologies. I Am the Schwartz is in Schrodinger's mode. We are in no mode.
Okay, Ravis, because they had that weird saving crit out of Tower of Terror, is going back for another try on Moldorm, and they should really check out the basement at this point after Moldorm.
Okay, Turtle Rock is a vanilla Quake, so it's only a matter of Mire Medallion now whether I'm the Schwartz is in fact in go mode.
Yeah, and Turtle Rock isn't much faster to doing go mode compared to non-go mode, so he's not really going to waste any time doing extra checks here. Make it something nice like a tempered sword for his troubles too.
Well, the interesting thing is, depending on key placement, it can be possible to avoid Laser Bridge. Oh, looks like he did make that check and does have Bombos.
Okay, yeah, it just wasn't on this tracker.
Okay,
Tracker
so
is a fickle
definitely go
beast.
mode.
It likes to eat inputs. So yeah, he's in full go mode now. The main thing holding him back is that he doesn't have a Desert Palace clear like Ravis and Koi. Ravis is going for that basement as well as Tisane, so they're both going to get their time smits very shortly. Considering where they are in the world, I imagine they will both go for Dark Death Mountain before going to say like heading over to Maya first. So I think they'll both be getting their hammer pretty shortly.
I'm just noticing that I Am the Schwartz is the only runner who didn't do Waterfall Fairy and therefore doesn't have half magic.
Yeah, he never did the whole fake flipper shenanigans. That's also why he doesn't have Blue Mail, because that came from King Zora. Ravis tries to cross the top bridge, realizes he doesn't have hammer, and flutes back down to the bottom again.
Now, an interesting question is, are we going to see any more sword upgrades?
Yeah, if our runners are looking for tempered sword, they may be checking out extra stuff like Hookshot Cave, which Iron Swords already did, but there was nothing there. I imagine since they have silver arrows, I don't think anyone will really be doing many extra checks to look for a tempered sword. Maybe just there's a chest on the way, like saying Ganner's Tower. But same is
I
heading
was just thinking that as frustrating as this seed has been with its linearity in last locations, one nice blessing for the runners is they don't have to touch swamp or ice.
Now, Ravis and Tasame have both fluted away from Death Mountain. I don't see Hammer marked on either of their trackers. Did they not check out Super Bunny Cave?
No, the trackers were just taking a while to update.
Okay. Tracker's still eating inputs.
I mean, I've been there as a tracker. You click furiously hoping that it'll finally update, and 5 minutes later it does.
And then it adds like 5 items all at once that it's trying to catch up on. To say making nice use of sword beams to get through that reserve room. If you can have full health when going into Mire and
Ooh, Godmire.
find a sword. Nice. But yeah, sword beams are by far the best way for getting through that room quickly, in my opinion. Ooh, Koi wasting a bit of time on the bird toss there. Tusk.
Why is I Am the Shorts doing Laser Bridge?
He's got keys, I reckon he's just looking for a sword.
Well, he got the powder out of it. That'll at least help him health-wise.
Oh no! It takes a laser beam to the face, and I don't think he took the safety door. He's been backtracked quite a lot here. Oh, this is bad for him.
Meanwhile, our other runners in Misery Mire are going to have about the fastest mire possible, given that big key placement and the fact that they have silvers for taking down Vitreous.
It really is a golden mire, and nobody's taking the time to try and find a tempered sword elsewhere now, because every other chest in Mire takes a fair amount of time to check out. Time our runners really don't want to be wasting. It's a nice quick kill of Vitreous for Ravers.
Vitreous is one of the very few bosses in the game who logic allows to have a key on him, because Mire's a weird dungeon in that there are so many keys available you can never actually lock yourself out of anywhere if you're short a key. So Shazam still has to mirror and do the back of Desert. So I guess that puts Ravis technically in the lead of our forerunners.
Yeah, it does, because he has already finished Desert, so he's just got to head into Turtle Rock now, finish that off, and then he have a quick route to Gannis Tower. Sane takes a quick trip into Maya's head to try and find a sword. Doesn't get anything. So Iron Swords now taking on Trinex quite a bit later than he really intended to take it on. So this has cost him time, and our runners are rapidly approaching Gannistar at this point.
And I Am the Shorts just ran out of magic. The whole not going to Waterfall Fairy is costing him.
Yeah, he doesn't have any green potions, because none of our bottles in the seed have had green potion so far. It was just a red potion and a fairy from my recollection. And he doesn't have that second bottle anyway, he has just one bottle. Second bottle was, yeah, Pyramid Fairy.
But yeah, you only get 8 rod shots without half magic, and since he is using hammer and master sword, you need at minimum 4 rod shots to finish off Trinex. If you use the Cane of Samaria after you refill your magic to get across that last bridge to Trinex, you only get 7 rod shots. So yeah, it's pretty easy to use up your magic if you don't have half magic.
Ooh, Rafus takes a bite from a chain chomp there. Okay, very smart. He pops on the cape to check out that chest and get down the stairs. I have appreciated Rafus's cape strats today when he's getting low on health.
And notice there that I Am the Schwartz did carefully use the Cane of Samaria before refilling his magic, so he will get 8 rod shots available in here. Hopefully he can take down Trinex on them. Yeah, he's being more careful now.
The ice head does breathe a bit of ice on the ground, but on the right side there, it doesn't really matter because he tends to kill the main Trinex head on the left side. Magic efficiency is a bit more important than having ice on the ground here for I Am the Schwartz. Okay.
Okay, should be one more hit. Oh yeah, there we go.
Just gotta hammer down that main head now and not die in the process, and he will be good to go. It's a little awkward attacking Trinex with a hammer because the hammer's a small hitbox and Trinex is a pretty big rock snake thing. But he gets it down without too much trouble. Okay, ready for that crystal roller room. He's got his keys to get to Trinex. He may decide to take the time to check out Laser Bridge to hope and find a sword, or he may not. He's got half magic and cape though, so he's going to be good if he does decide to check it out. Pretty safe. Now, I Am the Schwartz still has to do the Maya Desert combo. It won't take him especially long, but I don't think he's going to be the first one to enter GT at this rate. Which is unfortunate considering he could well have come a bit further ahead, but those deaths have cost him so much time in like Aga Tower and Tunnel Rock.
And he's also still doing checks, I guess, hoping for a tempered sword.
Well, Maya Shed is really quick to check out, so can't fault him for that. Also checking out Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, that's a bit more out of the way.
There's a heart container, and he's going for it. He's had enough closet counters with death today.
Some very nice hammer attacks from Ravis there, who managed to get through Trinex without even allowing the ice head to breathe ice.
He almost took a bite from the main head there, but he actually walked into the spikes in the corner and bounced off them, which gave him a bit of a damage boost and made him take much less damage than a bite from the main head. So, Ravis with a safety stress today. I love it.
How much damage does Trinex's main head do on blue mail? But we also have an unofficial game being played that I see that chat is already in because our tracker has already kicked it off. So, how many chests do you think Ravis will need to open before getting GT Big Key?
I have a regular guess that's always going to be 19 because I'd like to see both the right side and left side of Gan's Tower, but at the same time, I don't want to see the tower room, so a nice complete tour for Gan's Tower with the big key in its vanilla spot, assuming you check out the right side first.
Okay, so it turns out Ravis is taking a bit of a detour to check out oh, I didn't realize the mirror shield was in there. I was about to say, if by some chance Koi made it into GT first, we'd go by Koi, but no, Ravis is going to be the first one in.
Yeah, Svorts went for that Hookshot Cave first before Turtle Rock, and that's how he has a fire shield right now. For other runners, it's a mirror shield. Chat's pointing out flippers. Did Tizane pick up flippers from Mimic Cave?
For all the good that does. Oh, and it looks like Ravis is doing Dark Magician. So Torch was just a big 20.
Flippers were the last chest on Laser Bridge, according to chat. So, swimming for Svorts today, because that's where he died.
And the answer was 5. Let's see if anyone guessed 5. Yes, Mr. Hansen. And that's it. Congratulations, Mr. Hansen.
Considering Ravis has taken the time to check out stuff like Hookshot Cave, trying to find a sword, I think it's pretty likely that at the top of Gauntlet he'll be checking out the 2 chests in the mini Helmer room and the other 2 chests beyond that to try and find a sword. But if we don't find a sword there, we're going to be looking at Master Sword Silver's Ganon. Which isn't too bad, because it tends to be the last phase that takes the most time on Ganon due to the spins required and just how many spins he needs with the Master Sword spin. But Silver speeds up that a lot.
Yeah, but Master Sword does mean Ganon can only be damaged with spins in the first 3 phases, and it takes 12 spins per phase for each of the first 2.
Yeah, this isn't entirely bad for Avernus, because they all have Cape and Half Magic. Well, Svorts doesn't have Half Magic, but Cape and Half Magic will help you out a lot in that scenario. Also depends on where Ganon teleports. Depending on his positioning, he can get to, if he's in the right corner, he can basically spin against him constantly and not have to worry about fire bats or anything else until they start flying at you.
Yeah, it's always nice when he is close to a corner and you can do 2 hits per spin.
So Wraith is mostly making use of a Fire Rod here to get through the gauntlets. Got plenty of magic for it.
Oh, and Shazam, unfortunately, is doing full right. So it's going to be a bit before he gets his big key.
He finds
he
the
does
sword.
get a temper sword.
This might actually save him a lot of time. He's still going to be heading up the gauntlet quite a lot later than Ravis, so going to have to see if that will save him enough time to catch up. It's going to be close. Alright, Ravis still has plenty of magic for the torches here. Koi is not far behind. It's not counting him out just yet either. He doesn't have that tempered sword. But differences in execution here could allow Koi to just sneak out ahead of Ravis.
And they were even very briefly in the same room. Well, Ravis did get a nice health refill there.
Yeah, it wasn't that important, because he could have powdered the anti-phase in the next one, but it's convenient.
No, Ravis is one of our runners who didn't get powder, because that was on Laser Bridge.
Of course. Yeah, he completely skipped Laser Bridge, right. So no flippers, no powder.
Koi is in the same boat on that too, so Shazam, despite being a bit behind, has powder and has tempered sword.
Nice Moldorm kill by Ravis, no falls there. Koi takes a fall. Okay, no swords in the top of GT, so Ravis is stuck with Master Sword. Moldorm has been merciless today. Right, Ravis, first run at Aga 2. That's not to say he's first overall in the qualifier. We've got 62 entrants in the qualifier, so whilst we're saying 4 restreams today, there's another 58 runners still in this. We've been pointing out who has finished in the top positions after Ravis finishes. It might be him, it might be other people. He's not having much luck with Aga 2 here. So Koi enters Aga 2. If he gets slightly better hits with the magic projectiles, he will catch up some time here. But it's difficult to tell what's Koi doing right now, because he's had a bit of a lag off stream.
Meanwhile, Shazam is making a mad rush up and is most of the way to the top.
Koi has taken down Aga 2. I think that was in much less time than Ravis, but I don't know how many hits he got in exactly. Yeah, sorry Ganon, we are going to have to stand close to you because we're doing Master Sword spins.
Whoa, did Ravis just deflect the trident with his spin?
Yeah, he kind of bounced off a trident and didn't hit Ganon at all. It's
But he also didn't get hit by the trident. Sus.
Okay, he's busting out that cape now.
And we see Shazam approaching Mini Moldorm and full Moldorm, and on the way he had the luxury of using powder to refill his health. He also did a single spin and slash to take Moldorm down with tempered sword.
Ravis is through the difficult part. He's on phase 3 now. 4 spins will take out Ganon in this phase. Schwartz also took the time to get the tempered sword from the right side of GT before getting his big key. Same is now at Aga 2. but I think it's going to be too late for him because Rafis is very shortly going to be in phase 4. Koi is not far behind. He's on phase 2.
And Rivas has now finished phase 3. Silver, my untrue weakness. Gets the torch glitch. Rivas is very low on magic, but at least he has silvers, so... Oh, and he gets a nice triple.
That's what he needed with that low magic. Oh, and he gets another hit in before the torch goes out. Nicely done.
Get your GGs in for Ravis as he gets across this very narrow bridge. And Ravish finishes with an official SRM of 133.19, good first on our restream and 14th overall. We'll get you the list of first 13 once our next 2 runners finish, because they're all kind of clumped together.
Yeah, it looks like Koi's on phase 4 right now, so still that temperature advantage isn't going to get to Same the edge here. Okay, Koi takes down Ganon. Nicely done. Didn't quite see how many hits that was, but nevertheless he gets it down. Get your GGs in chat for Koi. We'll be getting his time very shortly.
Yes, GG's to Koi, who finishes with an official SRL time of 134.14, so a mere 55 seconds behind Ravis, second in our restream, 17th overall. And down goes Ganon for Shazam.
That temperature allows him to make up a significant amount of time in Ganon.
He crossed the bridge, finishing with an official SRL time of 134.43, 29 seconds behind Koi, and third in our restream, 19th overall. So just to quickly go down the list before we invite our 3 runners in for interviews. First place was Gugo, an amazing 125.42, 3 minutes before and Taylor at second, 120.47. Then we had a long list of closely clustered runners. Hitsuya in third, 129.02. Thalane fourth, 129.40. Honda in fifth, 130.27. Humbug in sixth, 130.54. Goomba 90 in seventh, 131.03. Slowpoke 316 in 8th, 132.20. Cassidy Moon in 9th, 132.51. Paradox 64 in 10th, 133.07. Scary Off in 11th, 133.13. Incoherent in 12th, 133.14. And Asazas in 13th, 133.16. So Ravis missed top 10 by less than 15 seconds. But GG's all of our runners who, finished in this amazing clump, which was just how close this game was going to be. And now we are going to simultaneously bring in Shazam, Koi, and Ravis. Welcome and GG.
GG's.
GG's.
Dude, I am so tilted.
Oh man, I'm sideways.
Like I make one gamble the whole race, and it loses me like 5 minutes, and like the whole race, starting with Ice Rod Cave, enemies just would not let me keep full health the entire race.
I'm glad I got that blue man.
Yeah, I got it as well.
Yeah, you 3 did. Fortunately, I am the Schwartz didn't or half magic since they were in the same era, and that's why you guys are done in Heal Racing.
Yeah, this actually gave Swartz quite a lot of troubles because he is taking quite a few more deaths and running out of magic in places like Trinex, which, if it hadn't been for that, he would have had a significant advantage actually, because he was the only one of you guys to get those Titan Smiths before going back to Hera. So
And
he
I'm
just
just
got them on his first
noticing-
trip there.
As Race's credits finished, that we had a vanilla pedestal.
Skipping
Yeah,
Hair Basement was very, very, very appealing. The boots, finding the boots in there meant that now you could definitely full clear desert. In addition to unlocking 2 checks and getting back down to Pyramid Fairy really quick, all of which could have had the Mitzer Hammer.
I would have fallen for the same trap, but I messed up in the Hera pot and unfortunately saved and good while frame buffering. So I went to desert.
Whoops.
Yeah,
I
we
did
were
the
wondering
boot
why you
checks
were suddenly
before.
out of Hera back on a mountain, so it was an accidental save and crit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm blaming Eastern. Like the 2 dark rooms before the Vanilla Bicky were so shaky and I was so uncertain, and that led me to the death in Agate Tower. Completely forgetting the fire rod. I really was checking a lot because the start wasn't good, and when you don't start good, sometimes it gets you, and it got me this time. So I'm very, very, very much happy to finish that close to the others. I even calculated the points already, so I could make my race from yesterday count, which is pretty good.
Yeah, my first qualifier is not going to count, unfortunately. I think I get 93.8 with this one, so not bad.
Yeah, I got 94.77 or something, and yesterday 94.22.
And 90
Pretty
plus
good
is
design.
fine. I'll let you guys do the math. Someone will tell me if I'm in.
So Trinex actually cost me probably about 10 finishes, placement finishes, like I think, because everything kind of compounded since I had to use my potion right there. Like I use my potion on Trinex because I mess up the hammer fight, and then that leads to me having to play differently throughout the rest, all the way to Ganon, where I don't have a magic refill anymore, so I don't feel comfortable using the cape on the bad spot where you can't get the double spins, and then he takes like 15 warps before he finally gives me a double spot, so I can use the cape safely.
Did you have a green person? Because I only recall seeing like green, like a fairy and a red person pop up in the bottles.
I had a green and a fairy.
I might have had 2 potions. I have no idea. Like or 2 bottles. Like I typically mark the first bottle and then completely ignore every other one.
I think it was red and a fairy is how bottles came up.
I used the red one. I remember doing that because I wanted sword beams for Meyer.
I wanted to have a blue goo just in case I need magic.
And by the way, GG, I am the Schwartz who just finished final restreamed runner, 33rd overall at 1 hour 40 minutes exactly. So
Whoa.
we should have him in here in momentarily.
That seems like planned from Schwartz. A flat 140.
It was a real weird seed.
Disgustingly linear. Like the seed was just pointing you towards just doing everything in order and with
But what
very
made
little
it-
deviation.
What made it exciting was the difficulty, depending. Like, we didn't have hearts unless you had fake flippered and got at least half magic and blue mail. The
like
sea
4
was
hearts in Agate Tower.
really good for people who can play the game without affording losing here or there hearts just for the speed, for precise movement and good combat. Like, you could have died easily at a lot of parts of the game. For example, Agate Tower, if you're bad.
I was taking damage everywhere, and
Yes, still the same.
the thing about like taking damage is you lose time from taking damage already, like because you bumped an enemy or something, and now he pushes you back, and now it takes extra frames to walk past him or to kill him, to get him out of your way or whatever. But then you lose even more time after that, because now you're looking for like heart drops or you have to pick up the pots where you have the guaranteed hearts and stuff, just so you can stay alive moving forward. So every time you take damage, it compounds on everything else that happens until you next save and quit, until your next crystal catch. And no matter where I went, man, every single rope, I swear to God, every single rope in this game jumped into my face.
I mean, a
So-
seed where you don't need to go to Swamp and Ice Palace, or don't even get the chance to do so, basically, is not a bad seed.
I found the flippers. I could have.
Yeah, sure, but I think it was behind your go mode items, right?
Yeah, it was last chest laser bridge.
See,
Yeah, laser bridge was a bit useful though because also powder, which help those of you who got it since you could refill health off anti-fairies.
I skipped everything after Goma.
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
know if
I
there
took
was extra
the
tests.
safety room in GT. I mean, I had 5 hearts blue mail. I didn't have the potion. I used it in Turtle Rock. I didn't even remember that I got a second bottle with something in it, whatever. So I just took the fairies right there and just be safe.
Oh yeah, I
Cost
can see
me
on
like
the
three
rain
ranks.
stream I have a second bottle. What do you know?
Yeah, I can't remember where that second bottle was, but I remember most of you got it.
Yeah, we were only really pointing out the first bottle was because we were like, oh, good, that's progress of a kind. And then
If I had paid a little more
ice rod.
attention.
That
paid a
ice
little more
rod threw
attention, I
me
wouldn't have,
off. Like I was ready to go back to her, and then I get an ice rod. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What am I gonna do now with this ice rod? Am I gonna do the boots checks, or do I go up Hera first for the pyramid fairy and boots checks? I did a bit weird stuff, but okay. Everything for not skipping Hera basement, I guess.
So Hair Basement actually kind of saved me. Because I forgot about Sick Kid completely. Like I didn't, it didn't occur to me that I hadn't checked Sick Kid yet until I was dashing down to Pyramid Fairy. I was like, oh yeah, Sick Kid, we'll do that real quick. So if I had got the mitts in my first trip in Hera, I probably would have done Turtle Rock without the ice rod.
Right, and Pyramid Fairy was where he got that second bottle.
Yes.
Oh, so I
nice.
had only 1 bottle then, because yeah, right. I didn't have a second bottle. I was just thinking, I'm like, where
Yeah,
the
you got 1 bottle on your restream, Mavis, and Jasame has 3 bottles. I didn't recall the 3rd bottle at all. I think it might have been in the right side of GT.
Yeah, could be.
Probably. That was also where Tempered Sword was, if Koi or Ravis, you were wondering about that.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, half magic. Okay. Even without a blue goo, you should be able to do second phase scan. I mean, you get usually free 2 spins in the first part, and maybe 2 free later. So you just gotta wait for some double spins. Just
With
be
it being
calm.
Compass Room, it probably wasn't worth. Because it costs like a minute at least to get that sword. And honestly, if I went to Compass Room first, I was going all the way to Ice Armos.
Well, to be fair, I mean, if you have Tempered Sword, you're just feeling better, right? As long as you manage to do this, the
I
Master
wouldn't have
Sword
fallen
parts.
to Moldorm 3 times.
Yeah, and I was even very close to low magic, so I couldn't spam the torch even. It was kind of close. I had like, I think 1 fire rod shot left, maybe 1.5. Still using the lamp. But luckily got the triple in.
Yeah, Moldorm was taking no prisoners today with the amount of Moldorm force that we saw, not just from Yukoi, but also was there a token for? I think it was Jasame on the Moldorm too.
That was me. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So Moldorm wasn't taking any prisoners. And the Swords also actually took a death in the front of Escape, and as well as running out of magic and on Trinex, which cost him quite a bit of time.
I just want to
Just
say
that the
one
lack
more
of
thing.
blue mail and that lack of blue mail and the half magic from the Zora area actually cost Iron Swords quite a lot more time than you would otherwise think. Just simply because he was able to, it just cost him those deaths and resets.
I just want to say, nice lamp location, dudes. That was awful.
Oh, I did it before Mini Moldorm.
Yeah, I left Dan and Agina together, so I could do that, and it looked very early on like an Aga seed.
I considered doing Dark Aga, but I was like, it's a qualifier, so I won't skip anything. Except Hera, because no one likes Hera.
I'm just happy I got to splash delete this seed. Like ever since I learned it feels like every seed you get flippers like right away. Of course, it's a
yeah, I haven't seen the splash deletion much in action, but we just saw you just go to the top of Lake Hylia, fire a few arrows, a few bombs, jump in, and away you go.
Yeah, and then you did it a second too when you were going up to the Zora area, so you were certainly having fun with it.
Yeah, no, that was just a more efficient way to do it since I had already done Damagina. So I've splashed Elite over to Ice Sword Cave and walked to Mini Molder.
By the way, I'm noticing on your finished stats, what were the? I'm trying to figure out, Koi, what the checks you didn't do that our other runners did that wound up with extra heart containers.
Hookshot Cave, probably.
Yeah, I didn't do Hookshot Cave. I didn't check the 4 chests in the Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, I think
basically
that was probably it. Because this was such a poor seed overall. I don't know if you guys were particularly feeling that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I mean when I said the seed was hard linear, yes, but on the other hand, you had to play very well with that what the seed gave you.
I feel like with the Master Sword, like Master Sword Ganon sucks, but in my experience, I typically lose more time looking for an extra sword than I do on the Ganon fight. So usually if I just have Master Sword, I just go for it. If I find a sword on the way, great. If I don't, oh well. And it's really hard to justify, checking Hookshot Cave, but not Laser Bridge, or checking Laser Bridge, but not, Randa Room, It's like where do you draw the line for what chests you're opening extra? If you're in Go mode, just go is what I do.
Well, at least you had silvers. I mean, I hope you all appreciated getting the Godmire to beat all Godmires.
I probably would have had a faster Ganon fight with Master Sword Silverless. Master Sword Silver is low-key the hardest version of Ganon. The urge to do Silverless hits with the Master Sword is so strong.
Because you're just doing so many spin attacks anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like you practice it, Like you practice doing Silverless Ganon. You don't practice killing him with silvers. So like that practice just starts jump into the forefront of your brain, and you already got the sword held out and everything.
All right. Anyways, guys, thanks for having me. GG's to everybody. Interesting.
And GG to you.
And see you in one of the next qualifiers, I guess.
So, do you guys have any final thoughts on the seed, or how you're doing overall in the qualifiers? How many more you intend to play? That kind of stuff.
2 for 2 with last locations. I'm still confident. Just gotta believe.
I don't really have that many options for which qualifiers I play. Over half of them are during my regular stream time, and I don't want to miss stream for the qualifiers. And then I'm taking a vacation this weekend, so I already know exactly which 3 I'm going to play.
Yeah, but good thing you got at first place in the first qualifier, right?
Yeah, get my top score out of the way.
I'm surprised you got so early in the morning for this.
Yeah, no, it's I didn't get any sleep last night because we did crowd control last night, and then I wake up like 6 hours later. Okay, let's play some more Link to the Past.
I was actually talking about this at the beginning. We had 62 entrants in this qualifier, and a huge amount of them were across the Atlantic. This is a qualifier I reckon would have way more European runners running it than US runners, but not the case today.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. It's either I play the 2 8 a.m. ones, or I cut my stream time to play.
Yeah, that's the downside of having to put on a 20-minute lag that you can't really as part of a regular stream.
Yeah, if I could just play it like a daily race, just make it part of the stream, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'd have to start the stream and then stop the stream and then wait for the stream to catch up and then start the stream again. It's just not interested. But I get to play video games for a living, so whatever.
And if you win the tournament, you'll be making even more money, probably.
Dude, I'm not winning this tournament.
You just gotta believe, man. Like Jasam said, just gotta believe.
I think I have a pretty it's pretty unlikely that I won't make it out of qualifiers at the level that I play at, but there's so many such good players who are still playing every freaking day. I can name 20 people off the top of my head that I have no chance against in a 1v1 scenario. But, only one person can win, so it's all about having fun, right?
So all you have to believe is that they knock each other out, and then you can beat the last guy. Sounds easy.
Yeah, you never know who you'll face once you get to brackets. We've seen enough upsets.
So GG to all of you, and hope to see you in the next qualifiers coming up. We don't have any more qualifiers happening today. Tomorrow, well, on Friday, we will have some qualifiers happening at 11:15 Eastern. One of those will be on ALTTPR Randomizer channel, and the other one is going to be probably on the Speed Gaming channel, though it hasn't been assigned yet. But we'll probably have more details about that tomorrow. If you do want to see some more randomizer action, we do have the daily races coming up today on the Speed Gaming channels. And other than that, I have nothing else to add. That was a that was a linear seed. It was very execution based. It was like we saw deaths and running out of magic here and there, and that's made a big difference in all of our runners' finishes. So good race overall. So aside from that, and yeah, do you have any final thoughts, Josie?
Well, I was going to put in a plug for the daily races because we have a bit of an unusual setting today. 5-7 defeat Ganon, so 5 crystal unlock GT, but you need all 7 before Ganon's vulnerable. So there's actually some chance of finding items in GT. So it'll be interesting to see how the daily seeds play out today.
So thank you all for joining us. I'm Revolving Ocelot and joined by Josie1. And shout outs to trackers again. Links are in chat, courtesy of Cyclone. Saru X and Raspberry Floof keeping us on track today. I know I was definitely missing stuff because it's difficult to keep track of 4 races at once, especially when everybody was linear for a part and then they all start diverting into different directions and then we find out it's still linear anyway. But thank you for joining us and we'll see you in the next race.
Yeah, and to put in one other plug for all the channels that these races are on, there are 6 different speed gaming channels, this one as well as 2 through 6. There are also, I think, 5 ALTTP randomized channels, and we're actually trying to do multiple channel streams of as many qualifiers as we can so that as many runners as we can feature get featured. So please follow not only Speed Gaming, but also the ALTTP Randomizer family of channels. We should have totally different broadcasts of the same qualifiers going on multiple channels. So that's kind of a cool introduction for this tournament. And yes, to echo Revolving Ocelot, thanks a lot for watching this one.